Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Debate Aya program with your host Tariq Khan. Today we'll explore and analyze the ongoing peace situation in the global affairs, especially in the context of Israel-Palestine conflicts. Let me bring our guest in program, Ms. Samra Ansari. You are founder of Initiative Pakistan Peace Observer, and you are also a researcher on peace and conflicts issues. Ms. Samra, thank you so much for joining, and you are most welcome in program.
Thank you for inviting me to your program, sir.
Ms. Samra, how would you like to elaborate the most disturbing ongoing situation of peace in global affairs, especially in the context of Israel and Palestine issue?
Yes, sir. I would like to look into the situation. What was the situation? Like, it was the 7th of May, the last Friday in the month of Ramzan. The Al-Aqsa Mosque, the Holy Mosque, was stormed, attacked by Israeli forces. Because tens of thousands of Muslims were going to protest against the Israeli occupation. We all know there has been a conflict going between Israel and Palestine. So there were injuries, there were deaths. The overall situation made a huge disturbance in the sphere of humanity and Islam. And however, the world has shaken aback in the global affairs. If we talk about the Muslim response, so Muslim response should not be boiled down to the countries, to the Muslim countries' response only, but we should highlight the societies, the individual response also. I think what Muslim societies, or because we are in Pakistan, so how Pakistan responded to this situation. We supported by forwarding different videos, condemned by protesting, holding different talks on social media or on international media. We call it a genocide. If some people, or we all, most of the people pray for the courage, patience, and help by the Almighty Allah. To give courage to the Palestinians to defending the Holy Mosque. But here I need to highlight that, to shed light on the situation that the response should have been a united response. Support, we all are very much concerned, every individual is concerned, but at this moment we do not blame the governments, or everyone cried. I think everyone cried for the situation, for the Israeli barbarity against the Muslims or the humanity. It is a sensitive issue. So when we came across a big problem, a huge problem, so we should respond as a responsible. We should respond as a responsible. We should be responsible or respond as a nation. So I think at this moment we should show, or we should generate some observations to it. And another thing is freedom of speech. When we say we all have a freedom of speech and we can talk about everything, but I think freedom of speech comes with the responsibility, and the responsibility is our job description, our individual role. So I think we all should consider this wisely, and do not rush to propose individual solutions, but wisely we can propose our way forward as an individual, as a Muslim, as a having a harmony to the humanity. So I think this is the overall situation.
Samra, about your statement, Israel is an enemy to Islam and the Muslims should consider and treat it as enemy. Is it not an extremist statement as it is a matter of humanity, not only Muslims? How would you express your views on this statement?
Yeah, that's an important question, or thank you for highlighting this. I think I really don't think so. This is extremist statement. This is not extremist. It is the need of the hour that we should not be extremists in our thoughts at the moment. The statement has, if you see, the statement has three significant aspects in it. One is proof, the enemy proof. Israelis has proven itself as an enemy. So, and Muslims should consider it as an enemy at the moment. And the third is the creed, how Muslims or how the humanity, the community of humanity would treat the enemy. So withholding, so as a Muslim or so prove, consider and treat. Israel, I said, itself proves as an enemy to humanity or to Islam. So now this is the moment, I think, we all Muslims, we all humanity, the community, international community should consider it, seriously consider it as an enemy to humanity or to Islam. And how we treat it, we as a Muslim, we know in the Holy Quran, Allah says, how to treat your enemy. It is not by you all the time using force, all the time using extremist statements, but withholding humanity. Plus, if there is a need, so use force. So I think Allah says in the Holy Quran that we should consider enemy as our enemy. And Israel itself has proven as an enemy to Islam by its own action, and everyone should consider it. However, if we clear it, if I would like to elaborate it more clearly, so this is our guidance from Allah. We need to deal with the evil who is against the message of humanity, who is against Islam. Here, one thing I need to highlight, that we should resist. We should resist at the extremists, at the conflict situations or something disturbing to humanity, but with tolerance. Resistance with tolerance is the Muslim power, is the humanity power. So Islam Islam itself is a humanity, and Islam is a humanity figure. Muslims are a humanity figure. So there is no separate, there is no shadow of doubt that Islam and humanity is a separate concept, or as a Muslim, I can claim that Islam is a humanity. And if there is any attack on humanity, we call it we all understand that it is attacked, it has by the conflict or by the Palestine-Israeli situation. They attacked humanity. It's similarly like a Nazi genocide, or if I say, like, it would not less than a Karbala event in the Muslim Ummah. But we do not rush, individual societies should not rush to the solutions by proposing their solutions. Or I'm not also going into that debate, because that is the work of the policy makers. And of if we propose, whenever if an individual or a state propose any solution, so there's a procedure. Yeah, one need to go through the evaluation process and everything. One should know all the ground realities, all the ground situation. I just want to highlight that we, as a Muslims, as a humanity protector, as a humanity follower, be careful in our actions.
Asma, what is your observation, or what is wrong are we doing in this issue? How would you express your views?
Yeah, thank you. As I said, there is no shadow of doubt. There is no second thought that Islam is separate from humanity, and it is a religion perspective or a religion aspect. But everyone is concerned, and the whole humanity, the whole Muslim Ummah, and we have only two options here. We everyone, like we see everyone wanted to react or act or react. So we now at the moment we have two options: to take a proactive measures or proactive thinking measures, or reactive. Um, I would say in the sensitive matter that policy making or the diplomacy is the work of our government, and it has been seen that they are doing good in diplomacy. Pakistan has done very well in the diplomacy. Therefore, this is very serious matter, should be dealt wisely and in consultation. And societies or the individuals should also need to understand that we should resist, but not to blame fates or actions of our governments in this sensitive issue particularly, because this is this is a sensitive issue, and we are the and if we as far as Pakistan is concerned, I think we are the most powerful Muslim countries having nuclear capabilities to defend the humanity, to defend Islam, and every time Pakistan in the history, Pakistan has proven itself in the countering terrorism and etc. So we should not be extremists in our thoughts at the moment. And it is extremism. It is state-sponsored extremism, and there is no thinking over it. Like it is an extremist act. It is the act of genocide. We bombing, rubber bombing, shelling on the prey on the people in the mosque, in the separate religious place. So this is extremism, I.
Samra, I recognize your this statement and maybe some others also, but there are some controversies. How would you take this positive in your way? How would you take this?
Yes, sir. As far as controversy is concerned, I'm an independent peace researcher in Pakistan, and I look at things without any biases or and share my views. So I always welcome questions, discussion, arguments, rather involving in the reactionary actions, or I don't indulge in agreeing or not agreeing, because it's everyone's perspective, and it is the choice of an individual which side to choose. Those who think it's extreme, my statement is extremist, this is my knowledge, what I study and research. I would welcome if anyone has a better argument to this. Uh, as far as however, Israel is concerned, I think Israel is doing the act of extremists, and the whole international community has recognized that protesting in different, like we see. Sorry, I cannot list down the protests right now, but we see in the international overall in the news channels, or there are protests against Israel to protect the humanity, and this should be prevented, and everyone should condemn it and support Palestine in their cause. But there is one question that if we discuss or if we talk about Israel-Palestine conflict particularly, so there is a UN solutions. UN solutions are there that Palestine settlement should be accepted by the Palestinians, and I would not go into that detail, but everything needs to be systematically studied, and the act of extremists by state or by societies, by individual, by Muslim Ummah should not be in the cause.
Samra, you share your thoughts or views on socio-political issues. What would be your message to communicate to nation as an independent peace researchers in the Pakistan?
I really thank you for this question, sir. Oftentimes, we don't develop a curiosity to learn. Like curiosity means to know the full knowledge about these consequences or circumstances. So, has that consequences? We judge opinions. We never accept other people's perspective. Even the perspective is convincing or start we just rush or we start debating over it. That is, I think, the most dangerous thing and the problem in our society. I highlight Pakistani society because I'm living here particularly. Then we see in the whole community, in the international community, or in every domestic societies, there's a it's my observation there's a domestic crisis in the whole world, in the whole world's, in the global societies or in the separate societies. So this is the most dangerous thing and the problem of societies. I would like to say, if we find something strange, go research it in a neutral way, then make your statements. And it would not necessarily mean you every time one get an answer, but if the studies confuses you, or if one is still confused in their research, so one should need to ask the authority who given that statement, or directly. So this is, I think, the process of learning. This should be the process of learning. And the second thing is, avoid battle of knowledge. Like, this world is no race but an examination hall where everyone has to perform as per their capabilities. So moreover, in short, Allah is the protector of humanity. And in this world, we are here to follow as Muslims the message of Allah and be responsible as spreading the humanity and the Islam. As far as humanity, the whole humanity is concerned, I think Pakistan also should firmly engaged in the diplomacy, in the process of diplomacy, and improve diplomacy, its governance, improve its governance, domestic governance. So it will eventually help Pakistan to make its policies strong over international issues. So I think OIC, the international, if we discuss or if we give solutions or suggestions, I cannot at the moment give solutions to, but suggest a way. Pakistan, if Pakistan really willing to support the humanity, so there is only, I think, one option: to firmly work on its diplomacy, to highlight the message of humanity and Islam, and as a Muslim state. And secondly, to engage international community in the sensitive issues and support as much as, like, we see, we are dealing with the Kashmir conflict, like similar to the Palestine conflict. There is so much sensitivity is involved. So I think Pakistan, as considering the international community engagement, should work on its continuously work on it. Diplomacy, I think it's a process. It's not a one way or a one-time act. It's a lethargic process. So Pakistan should continue its efforts towards protecting humanity, defending Islam, and come as a protector of humanity.
Samra, thank you so much for your valuable and precious analysis on the topic, and thank you so much again.
Thank you for your trust, sir.